Mr. Speaker, yesterday when questioned by the Wild Rose, the Health Minister denied that he'd ever categorically said no to a Health Quality Council review. Instead, insisting he said, no, not at this time. Ooh. Days later, the Health Quality Council review was announced. Later in the day, when I asked him if he would call an independent judicial inquiry, he said, no, not at this time. To the Health Minister, given that you have set the precedents for changing your mind and you're going from no to not at this time, when can we expect you to go say yes and call in a public inquiry?
Whenever there's any evidence.
Mr. Speaker, it's like saying, I love you, but I'm not ready to marry you at this time. What part of that don't you understand? No, not at this time. I said I would review and take appropriate actions at the right time. That's all there is to it. And after I had more information and we looked at it and had a chat about it, we decided to call an independent review, as requested.
The honourable member. We will marry you.
Yikes, Mr. Speaker.
Are you going to accept? He's already married.
Not at this time. Holy mackerel, Mr. Speaker. Holy mackerel, you got to be kidding me. Thank you. Whoa. Given that the Health Minister has said no, and not at this time, and I'm not talking about marriage, thank you very much, and the Premier continues to say a flat-out no, will you, on behalf of Albertans and the medical profession, fulfill your role as a Health Minister and push for a public inquiry?
Mr. Speaker, I'll go through this again. On March 7th, this same member said, given that the Health Quality Council can't investigate until directed to do so, why hasn't the Health Minister given such orders? Guess what? I did. Later in that day, this same member who's asking the question said, Mr. Minister, will you call in the Health Quality Council to investigate the 322 cases that were documented previously? Yes, I will, and yes, I already did.
Honourable member.
We were talking about fear and intimidation.
I'm pretty good at convincing people, and the same minister said no, then he said not at this time, and then he said yes. So thank you. My final question is to the minister. If you truly care about the healthcare system, if you want to live up to your commitment of an open and transparent government, and you really believe healthcare professionals and doctors shouldn't be silenced and they shouldn't be muscled, will you assure Albertans and call for a full public inquiry?
Mr. Speaker, a public inquiry, which clearly they don't understand, would require Cabinet to direct and dictate the terms of reference, who would conduct it, who would sit on it. That's not independence the way people want an independent review to be done. I find it quite interesting that on one day they are praising the Health Quality Council, and now they are casting innuendo against the people they stood behind just last week. I don't understand that. It sounds very confusing on their part.